And hello to all my Taurus friends, I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for September 2023. Now today they have dialed up for my great Tauruses a storyline spread, and a storyline spread is a great spread for general readings because it casts a very wide net across the entire sign of Taurus. We're going to be telling 2, 3, 4, or even 5 different stories for different Tauruses, going through different things in the month of September. And there may be correlations between the different stories, different pieces that resonate with you and make a lot of sense, but at the end of the day, our goal is to find one story that is all about you, and that is what we're going to do right here and right now. They've asked that I conclude your reading with an extra spread, well, not so much a spread, but animal totem. They want me to do one for you, so this is an animal totem that is going to represent your September, the traits and characteristics from that animal that you can put into your month and put into action right away, right now. We're also going to do rune stones. We're going to do a little bit of chemistry tracking toward the end of your reading, your extra spread, like I said, and another one called homily, which is a little spiritual pep talk. We got a lot of stuff to cover, guys, a lot of new stuff going on here. Hope you like the intro, and we are getting moving. So let's get started right now, guys. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a whole bunch of time. And right now I'm going to bring you in the overhead camera so you can watch. And keep in mind, I am putting a lot of extra work and attention into the timestamps. So if you'd like to skip this, you don't want, let's say for example, you don't care about looking at the cards, you just want to get the reading part, you can skip right over this. But a lot of people do like looking at these cards and seeing what I'm working with and looking at the pictures. So here we go. Those are my ritual cuts, basically cutting each deck into thirds, back together they go in a separate order, satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot, and we're ready for your reading. The storyline spread starts with 5 cards regardless of what kind it is. So these are your base, core 5 cards. And we're going to keep going. We did not get the stop order from Spirit yet, so we do need to continue. Still did not. Am I off the screen yet? Pretty much off the screen. We're going to come down here. And we are still going, guys. Let's see how many cards we have. 8. So there goes 9, and we are going to go the full route here. The storyline spread stops at 10 cards, and that is our end. So now we have reached our end, Taurus. They went the full scope, the full spectrum with you guys here. So you're looking at all the cards, and most of them are upright. Got a nice clean read on my Tauruses this month. Now we got to get pairings together, and this deck is, well, it is not my greatest deck for pairing, so it is complicated sometimes. And let's see here. This is all one big long line. I just move it like this for the sake of you guys seeing it in the camera. So, let's see where this one stops. When it's complicated like that, I got to break it down into suits. So it's going to look like that. And then up here, I guess that probably didn't make much sense to you. But anyway, it gets broken up there. Up here, we've got another complicated set. And it's because nobody's looking at each other. Everybody's looking straight ahead. That makes it very difficult, at least for my part of it. So, is that all together as one? Nope, that's got to separate too. Does it separate with the other one? Yes. So we got a standalone card right there. So we are looking at 4 different stories for my great Tauruses. Now this is where the cards get crazy. This is where the table gets very full of cards. A lot of, because I got to pull extras for we got to get an Oracle Angel for every story. Got to get 2 on this one. This is a Major Arcana card. I believe it's still in view. If not, I'll move everything around so you guys can see it very clearly then. 2 majors on top of that. So that story is going to be massively huge. Oracle Angel card. Every story gets one of those. Come down here, we just need to see if this is a person. They say no. We're going to leave that card here. Also an Oracle Angel card for that story. Coming over here, all pip cards here. These are all minor energy cards. They're just going to get 1 card just to kind of talk a little bit more about that story. So I'll set that up like that. And then coming up here, make a little bit of room. Need to see if we got a lot of people here. Let's see if this is a person or we're using energy. They say energy. Over here, is this a person or energy? Energy. Yet again, got to shift you down. And that's a pip card. That's just going to stay the way it is. So, Oracle Angel card right there and down here. Almost forgot. So, attach in here. There we go. And now all the card work is done, guys. Checking the inverts one more time. Make sure I didn't invert too many. We did not. We are in good shape. So now it's just a matter of showing you on the camera. So I'm going to yank this off of here and show you. Up close and personal. Let's see where we're going to go first. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just going to start upper left and work around. So this is going to be story number 1 here, guys. Story 2, we're going to come down here. Story 3. Story 3 is going to be pretty big, guys. Major Arcana cards, every single one. Very huge there. And then Story 4. For everybody that we did not get 1 through 3, this is going to be your story here. So let's get to work. That's Story 3, man. That's going to be something. All right, so Story 1, guys. Let's start at the beginning. Taurus, the first thing they want to talk about here is really nurturing your mindset here. If you have been doing a good job of that. And basically they're saying here that this has been an ordeal. This has been a journey to come to this point where you are in a good headspace. Maybe some stuff has happened to you. Maybe you've been cheated on. Maybe you've been just going through a really rough time. You've had issues at work, issues with health. For a lot of you, they are going to be talking about healthy stuff in here. Health related, because they give healthy lifestyle for my Oracle Angel card. But I'm going back to my Queen here. So this is really saying nurturing of the mind. That is your attachment card letting you know maybe, hey, you're here in story 1 with me. If not, bear with me, guys. We got 3 more stories. But here, if you are with me, what they're saying here is that this is getting busy. This is going to be a very busy go, go, go month for my Tauruses. No rest, relaxation. At least not now, guys. The next thing they show here, we have action with the love corner. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's feeling a little bit good to me because we have the star card on top of it. So it is kind of wish fulfillment in the love corner, the family corner, friends corner, anybody close to your heart corner comes up there. This is my prince, but they said not the person. So they want to kind of keep it a little bit more energetic, which means action in the love corner. What is an action? It is like a step, guys, moving forward with something. It depends on where you're at. Let's say you just started dating somebody. A step might be a second date. A step might be meeting somebody if you aren't even there yet. If you're single, for example, may be a good month to do that. Also, a step could be like, let's say, you've been with somebody for a long time. Maybe a step from there would be getting engaged. Maybe a step beyond that would be getting, the actual ceremony done, and then, somewhere in there moving in together. So these are steps. These are love steps. And even if it has nothing to do with the relationship, this can be doing things with the family steps. And it's wish fulfillment, so it is more fated. It is more stuff that has destiny and momentum attached to it. It is very heavy, in a good way. Good heavy. Very good movement stuff there for the family love heart corner, guys. And they also come in on top of that and tell me successful. Something here goes really well for you. It is like putting a trophy on the case, on the shelf. It is like an accomplishment. Maybe some of you have accomplished some great thing with the family. Maybe some of you met somebody who's very good. We talked about action in the love corner earlier. And for any of you, especially if the story sounds like you with the busy activity and you've had some hard mental times that got you to a good spot now, this could very well be you. And they want to end with healthy lifestyle. So in the card specifically, it says, eat a healthy diet, get adequate sleep, and exercise regularly for optimal health. Now, I pay a lot of attention to the sleep part because they want you to get adequate sleep, but they're also telling you it's going to be very busy. So this is good advice to go in there. It's like saying, hey, don't run yourself ragged. You got to recharge those batteries too. It's okay to use all the energy, but you also got to replenish it, So there you go. Healthy lifestyle. Something with health coming in, guys. Pay attention to what that could be. Story number 2, and I got to remind you too that this is a general reading, guys. Spirit allows me to be incredibly accurate, especially with these storyline spreads, getting different stories to different people, a bunch of different readings all in one. But at the end of the day, it still doesn't even come close to a personal, private reading, which I encourage everybody to do. And that is available on my website, scottsagent.com. I have a bunch of different services, small all the way up to full service. There's something for everybody there. I encourage you guys to check that out and get that done. It is amazing what the planning and preparation aspect of tarot allows people to do. Now, story 2, guys, the first thing they want to talk about here is that there is maybe some travel getting a little bit blocked here, something that is not going your way in September, that maybe you planned a trip and it's not going to work out. Or maybe this is, hey, just a tough patch. If you're a Taurus here that is going through some rough times right now, this is just like rapids in the river. This is maybe a waterfall, maybe a little bit of a free fall. It's going through some rough times here. Maybe it has nothing to do with travel. Different definitions for different parts of the energy. But that is your attachment card. That's how you know if story 2 is about you or if it's not. The next thing they show here is localized energy, guys. They want you to focus actually on what is right in front of your face. I just did a reading for my last sign, which was Aries. Had to think about it for a second, but Aries had the opposite advice for one of their stories. Just like you guys are having here, this is much different. I told Aries, hey, you got to look at the big picture here. But for you, they're not telling you that. They're saying, hey, you actually got to worry in story 2 more about what is right in front of your face, the surface level stuff, more about your family that you have right here, right now, not, the family that lives 3 states away, that kind of stuff. So it's more localized energy, and it is more actually kind of finding yourself between tight spots at work can come up there too in this deck. So there is a little bit of that going on, but they want you to kind of keep it more local. So whichever version of that definition works best for you, that is what they're referring to. So the perspective to keep it close, and they say that you need to essentially be the boss here. I don't know if that means like actually in the workforce, like you need to be your own boss, or you need to like work on moving up the ladder here or something like that, or be off on your own or what. But it's the authority of the emperor. So it's saying, hey, you got to exude this authority. You need to own it. You need to control it in a good way, of course. That's what they say. That is good advice for some people. I'm feeling that resonate with a bunch of you, that is very meaningful for. They also show really that this is going to help you manage 2 different areas of your life. I feel like one of them is definitely work, and for most people it is work and family. It is, for example, if you put a ton of hours into work and you're working like 12-hour days, it's very hard to run a family at home, to put the time and the energy and the love into it, because so much of your time is being put into work. We all have the same amount of time in a day, but how do you utilize that time? That's what comes up, and that is coming in the balance form. And for most people it is work and love corner, which is family and love relationships. So this can also be, something with finance in there. It can also be something with health in there, because if either of those goes down or needs the energy, of course, that's going to take away from those other corners too. If you're having for example, if you break a leg, you hurt yourself, you sprain an ankle, break a leg, whatever it is, it's going to be hard for you to work, depending on what kind of work you do. So that is showing that the health is doing this, and the work is like, oh boy. So it's basically this balancing act, and they show you guys do it very well here. So applaud to you there, Taurus. You guys do a good balancing act, but you're gonna need to continue doing that balancing act because September is requiring it. So you're good at it. So at least you're fit for the job. Next thing they show is here is very good love relationship, good family dynamic, good romantic vibes a little bit here too. I don't want to get too carried away with it here, but it is showing 2 people in a good situation, story 2. So that we had good love messaging in story 1 too. So it is probably a very nice flowing month here for Taurus love. Last thing we show here is clairvoyance, and before I get too deep into that, Spirit is kind of knocking on my head and saying, hey, let them know that this can also be about 2 entities working very closely together. Could be, I talked about romantic, but maybe it has nothing to do with romantic. Maybe it's like you and a coworker working on a project together. It's 2 entities coming together for a goal. Now, last thing we end up here with is clairvoyance. It says specifically in the card, I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. And of course, they put that right on top of my love card with my 2 of Cups. So, a lot of love, good love vibes and juju going on here for story 1 and 2 as far as that goes. And they're basically saying they are working behind the scenes to help you kind of realize the good stuff you have, the blessings that you have. Now, before I get into story 3, guys, that is your big one. It's a small amount of cards, but huge as far as impact because they're all major arcana cards, and the likelihood of that happening is almost 0. So before I get to that big story, I do want to cut away to tell you about the brand new moon cycles as well as the new product, that is the new service, I should say, that is in the shop right now. So we're going to cut away and come right back with story 3 and 4. Okay guys, it is moon cycle forecast time, and the moons for September are starting to calm down. September, October, through the rest of 2023, the moon cycles are a little bit more solemn. However, you can still use this energy, the full and the new moon, to implement positive change into your life, because after all, the moon does have a gravitational lock on this planet of ours, and it's strong enough to pull the water of Earth towards space. The water bulges, and that's what the tides do, moving in and out. And after all, aren't we mostly water as well? You think it has an effect on us? Absolutely it does. So here's what's going on. Linear speaking, the first thing that hits as we enter September, we're still dealing with full moon energy from August. Now, this is the best time to get stuff out of your life. I want to focus more on the full moon later in the month, but as we enter the month early, that's when most people are checking out these videos. So I'm letting you know that right now, it's a good time to break habits, a good time to get stuff out of your life. People, wrap up projects, anything that's got to go. That is the energy of the full moon here early in September. Now, I want to focus on the new moon because new moon September 14th. This is going to be significant just because I got something special to share about the new moon. I stumbled upon this a few months ago and I was waiting for the right time to do it. And this is the moon cycle where I'm going to share it. This is from a very gnostic text. I forget which one it was. It might have been the book of Adam and Eve, one of these books that was held back from the Bible, from the Pope. And very interesting things because all these events happen during the new moon. This goes back to the flood story, which is not just in biblical texts, but it's in a bunch of different religious texts. New moon, that was when Noah was commanded to make the ark. Happened on a new moon. And he entered into the ark, also on a new moon. New moon is when the water stopped. Of course, these are not sequential new moons. It's not just one after another, but these events happened under a new moon. Here's another one. The tops of the mountains were first seen under a new moon. The earth, like the bottom, the lower levels of the earth, became visible from the floods going down under a new moon. And finally, Noah went forth from the ark under, you guessed it, a new moon. So you think new moon's relevant? Or what else are they trying to tell us in that book? I would say it's quite important. So the new moon, best time to bring things into your life. Start something new. Start a new diet. Go for a new job. Try to get something new going in the work corner. Something new in the love corner. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're trying to implement into your life, the new moon brings in the manifest. So it's the best time to pray. If you're a prayer, or if you like to just manifest things with just meditation or whatever it is that you do, this is the best time, middle of the month, guys. And we get back into that full moon energy, like I told you, late in September. This is the key for getting things out. I know we talked about it being early in the month, but it happens stronger for September late. In fact, it's the 29th. So the very last few days of September are incredibly strong for getting things out of your life. Something you got to sell, repurpose, finish up an old project, kick somebody out of your life, kick a bad habit. Doesn't matter what it is. That is full moon energy, guys. Use that to your benefit. And I also have a moon cycle cheat sheet that I always put on my website for you. It's there for free every single month. It's on my talking about page, stuff that I'm talking about. You can scroll down and see that moon cycle guide. It's a little visual aid just to help you understand how these energies move in and out. While you're there, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter as well. Give my newsletter people a couple great things every single year, usually in the terms of free readings and also great promo codes. It's just one email that I send out every single month, so that is a no-brainer. Follow the Facebook page as well. That's for contests and giveaways, all kinds of great stuff on the channel. And before I let you go, I want to tell you about the brand new service on the website. It is called Pet Connect. By popular demand, people wanting to check in on their pets, see how they're doing. A little bit of profound stuff can be had in this way. I made this product very, very affordable. I want to make it super friendly so that anybody can check this out. I know I get asked all the time about pets. Are they in heaven? Can we check in on them? All this kind of stuff. Is it even possible? The short answer is yes. It is a complicated situation, but it can be done, and to the point where I've made a product to just deliver that service to my great clients. And that is available, scottsagent.com, launching on Labor Day, guys. Labor Day is the day for that. And when you see that launch on there will be a video that goes with it that talks all about it, shows you the ins and outs and how it works. So check that out as well. The gemstones in the shop are still buy one, get one with the free charm. Any gemstone purchase in the shop will come with the free charm as well as a free little bag. It's kind of like a buy one, get three items for free, and that is running through the end of the year, so that's worth checking out as well, guys. Let's get back to your reading. Okay, Taurus, story 3 time, and the first thing they talk about is my High Priestess card, which can be about furthering education or learning something new. Basically saying that there is information like a library that is at your disposal. What are you going to do with it here? If that sounds like you, that could very well be the situation that they're attaching to and letting you know that this story is about you. If you signed up for to get accredited for something, take a new course, do something different that you haven't done before. This could very well be about you. Now, let's talk about this open information, because this may be just information too. Maybe some of you are learning the truth about something here. That could also be your story. Now, here's part of the advice, because they do talk about it in a very vague way, but it's going to be important for some people. Next, I have my Chariot card. This card is inverted. So normally this would say, you know what, you need to focus on one thing. Here they're actually saying, do not get too tunnel visioned. Do the opposite. They're basically saying, Taurus, you have a tendency to really kind of look at one thing here at one time, and it just kind of runs around in your head rent free, and it just completely invades your space and in your head space. And you know what they're saying here to do is you need to spread this out a little bit. Don't worry about just one thing all the time. That thing, whatever it is, it's clearing up. It's going to get cleared up because that's what the information shows. So whichever way that goes, it's basically saying, hey, you need to spread this out, maybe between two places or multiple. The other thing that they show here is that there's a major decision that is still being called to be made, and a lot of you have made a major decision. That's what this is all about to begin with. And now you're dealing with either the fallout or what comes next from that major decision. And if for some reason you are a Taurus that has not made a major decision yet in this story, and this is your story, you need to get this done. Now they also give you the creative card is my Oracle Angel card with creative writing. In the card it talks about making time to write down your thoughts in a journal, a pen, article, a book, something like that. Modern day this would be like blogging, newsletter stuff, emailing, creative writing in whatever form. Now, I don't focus largely on the writing part of that. Now, if you do writing, of course, that's probably what they're trying to tell you. But if you don't, what do you do that's creative? That's what I would ask you first. That is probably what they're talking about here. Maybe they're just bringing up hobbies and interests as something you can do to take your mind off things. Remember they said don't get too tunnel visioned and focus on something too much? Maybe this is a way off of that. Hey, you know what? Maybe you should go back to sewing. Maybe you should go back to crafting, painting, recording music, whatever it is for you. Whatever is creative, your creative outlet shines as a very big beacon here in Story 3. Story 4, guys. Story 4, if you guys have just made a really nice money move of some form, it's coming in as good credit. Doesn't necessarily mean credit, but this is just hey, you know what? This is checking in good. Good purchase. Very good deal on something. All that kind of energy is what they're saying first in Story 4. That comes in very good. The next thing we show here is my Princess of Cups and other decks. This is a page. My Page of Cups on the way that it's being spoken to here. This is meaning early in September. So this is before the new moon. This is like September 1 through 13 more than likely. And this is a love correspondence message. So this is, again, a nice positive message about love for my great Tauruses. And this comes in early for you here in Story 4, especially if you know that this is 4 because, hey, you know what? I just bought a car, or I just bought a house, or I just bought something that he's talking about here, or I just got a new credit card that's very great APR, some kind of good money move, stock move, maybe something like that. Now you know that they're talking about you. And beyond that, like I said, it's a love correspondence message that comes in very early, and it's very, very good because what we have behind that, it's my Four of Cups. Thankfully, this one is inverted. This is one of those cards you do want inverted because otherwise it would mean boring, a little dull and ho-hum, not so much action, but inverted. It means, hey, this is getting really interesting really quickly for Tauruses here, especially early in September. Love corner stuff, guys, doesn't necessarily mean love and relationship. What if you're single? Friends, they can be talking about friends. They can be talking about pets. Anybody close to your heart can come in on this. Okay, so keep that all in mind. They want you to do what's comfortable for you. They want you to find comfort. In the card it says, I am with you in your time of need and helping your heart to heal, which indicates that a lot of you are either healing, have healed, or are, been through some rough things to get to the point where you're at now. And if that's the case, you need your own round of applause or to pat your own back at the very least because you are a survivor and you made it, and now you get to reap those great rewards of 3 out of 4 stories talking about good love situations here, and that's specifically in 4. So comfort. Do what you find comfort in. They want you to be comfortable. Now there we go. Now let's get into your extra section of your readings. This is broken up in the timestamp. So the first thing we're going to do is Rune Stone because I like to do that while I'm looking at all the cards. They're already mixed up, but I will give them one more swirl. And here's a Rune Stone for a Taurus. September. And this is a great one to see. This is my flag of joy. Joy. So they want you to do, like we talked about comfort here in 4, they want you to do what you find joy in. The things that bring you joy and happiness. For most people, that is deep relationships with your loved ones. But whatever it is that you find joy in, I would encourage you to do more of it in September. September is a great time to just embellish on the finer things in life, the things that you care the most about, maybe your hobbies and interests like we talked about there in 3, your loved ones like we talked about in 2, and getting your life on track and taking authority to it, and a little bit of the healthy lifestyle in number 1, and just the fact that it is getting busy, and you got to find joy through the busyness too. You know, it just doesn't stop. You gotta find something to look forward to at all times. So there we go. There is your Rune Stone. Rune Stone is available as a personal private reading as well on the website, scottsagent.com. Now we're getting into the brand new chemistry tracking. Chemistry tracking I do ahead of time. I do that to save us all a bunch of time with the card work, but basically I'm going to talk to you about what came up for you for Taurus. Now we did not have anything come up for strong. That is probably by design. That doesn't mean that there is no sign that Taurus is going to be strongly connected to. In fact, we saw from your reading that that's not the case at all. In fact, maybe you're strong with anybody, and maybe just it's like blood type O and everything is out there a match. You know, everything is in potential right now, and Spirit maybe doesn't want you only looking at one sign or two signs, for example, something like that. Now, Taurus on the weak connection, they did give you one. So they want you to be aware of weak connections energetically with Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius is maybe the only one there that I would say avoid, especially for the love thing, looking for new love. If the other 11 signs, probably good. But in this month, there's something coming up between Taurus and Aquarius, specifically from your point of view, though, because Aquarius, you didn't come up on their chart at all, but they popped up on your radar, Taurus. So just keep that in mind for those of you who have Aquariuses in your life. Just be expecting of a weak relationship or a weak connection in the month of September. Of course, this changes when we get into October, more than likely. But there you go, information that some of you can use to good uses, put to good uses. And now we're getting into the extra spread, which is animal totems. I love doing animal totems, and they wanted to do one for you guys here. So this is just one card. Let me grab my list, and let's see what it is. All right, I can do that one. And I have so many animal totems that I don't have them designated, all devoted to memory. So I need to use this chart, and they gave you, you can't even make this stuff up. It's so crazy. They gave you Tauruses, the animal totem of bull. Bull. That's what a Taurus is. A Taurus is a bull. So they basically are saying you need to get to your core here. You got to be a real Taurus, okay? You got to exude the Taurus tendencies. You got to be rough. You got to go after it. Aggressive. This is the month to do it, okay? We talked a lot about love, maybe something going after there with family, healthy lifestyle. We talked about going after that, maybe something like that. So this is the month to go after things, be that Taurus that you are, the creative aspect that we talked about too. So lots of good Taurus energy. They're saying, hey, if you forgot what a Taurus is, look it up and then do that. Okay, so there we go. So Taurus is your animal totem. What better one can we get for your sign than that? Now we are going to end with my last little section here, which I call homily. This is like a small little spiritual pep talk that I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, guys, it is time for your homily, September 2023. The very first homily ever is being recorded right now. You are a part of history, guys. So the topic that I want to talk to you about today is a realization that I had at a water park last month, of all places. That's what kind of inspired me to tell you this story and kind of make this part of your extended reading. And I took my daughter on a small mini vacation to South Florida. That's kind of where this whole thing started. Went to a water park. It was very small, but very nice, very pleasurable. It had a little kids section, a couple larger slides for more of the adults. The kids love that too. And a lazy river, which of course everybody likes. And you know what a lazy river is more than likely. And if you don't, it's just a small little stream that current pushes you around, mostly in inner tubes. So this is where my story takes place that I wanted to share with you guys. I was going down the lazy river, and it was a small course. It maybe took you about 10-15 minutes to go around the whole thing. And they had some good water squirts that would happen. You know, sometimes it was like a waterfall where you just got penetrated by water, just that was like free falling. Other times it was pressurized, like more of like a squirt gun and like a spray, and just different kind of textures and varieties that you'd pass through and go under. And it was very nice. And I'd been through it a couple times, and my good friend took my daughter to go on the big slide. She wanted to go on the big slide, so I was in the lazy river by myself, and I'd already been around the course a couple times by this point, so I knew the course pretty well, at least I thought I did. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to try something a little different here. I'm sitting on this inner tube, going down a nice little current in a course. I decided to close my eyes and see what changed when I did so. Now,
everything changed. First of all, your senses heighten. When you're looking like this, you're blindfolded, your hearing, especially there, hearing was what's heightened the most for me. I was hearing that water coming way ahead of time, and I was apprehensive. I didn't know when it was coming. I just knew that it was. And I didn't know if I was going to be pushed into it or if I was going to be pushed around it, because there's kind of different ways you could go. And it just changes things when you don't see it. When you cannot see what's coming, it changes the way that your body reacts to it. It's just almost like a chemical reaction. And you don't have a choice in the matter. It's just the way that it is. And it wasn't scary, but I could see for some people that it could be. And the only reason it wasn't scary is because I knew I was safe. If I was doing that like in an actual river, I would be a little scared, because I'd be wondering if that noise I'm hearing is actually like a waterfall or like a pretty big drop, or something dangerous was going to happen to me. Of course, it was a controlled environment, so it wasn't scary, but you still had the stress. You still had the apprehension, and the nerves very heightened. So the realization that I ended up having, basically the moral of this whole story, is that it reminded me of people who do not seek any kind of spiritual progress with their daily path, their daily lives, tarot readings, a little bit of divination and forecasting, because that's what it does. It allows you to open your eyes to see the things that are coming. Most people are just driving blind. They're going through their entire lives like this. What I do, the ability to forecast and share my divination with you in this way, and with my personal private readings especially, you can look into all that stuff. You can see the things that are coming. You can plan and prepare a little bit for things. So it's not so scary. You don't have to be apprehensive about things. It gives you a calm, just knowing when things are coming and how you can align certain things to these occurrences that are in some ways going to come regardless. Sometimes you go around it. Sometimes you go through it. So that is your homily for September 23. Thank you so much for tuning into the readings. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have delivering it to you. I hope you have a great September. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.